Yeah, this is the next tractor. It's a cadet LT 1042. It's pretty nice. Picked it up the other day for $150. Just needs a good cleanup, but he did say that the starter was bad in it. If you turn the key, it doesn't do anything. But he's looking at it. Look under here. PTO clutch is like blown out, and the wire here is cut. I'm thinking if I can get a new PTO clutch and plug it in and everything, it'll make the starter work, but I'm not sure. So I'm gonna try to get the PTO clutch off so I can get the number off of it and get a new one. So I got this off. Here's the top part. Right there is the bottom part. But I got it off here. And comes off of that shaft right there. It was like seized on there, so I had to use some W40s, a hammer, and some heat. But I got it off now. I just have to see if I can get a new one somewhere. These are really expensive, so it's gonna kill the profit. Okay, I'm back. Been a while. I got sidetracked on a different one that I wanted to get going quick, but I got the impact here and some easy outs. Guess I have it jacked up. I pulled the deck off because this part was right underneath the PTO clutch. Right there. But make sure you get yourself a pair of safety glasses, because I was just drilling this out and a piece of metal went right in my eye. So yeah, make sure you wear the proper PPE, because it does not feel good. But let me try to drill this out with that and then try to get it out. All right, came out like really easy actually, a lot easier than I was expecting. So these things work pretty good. So speed out. Extractors work pretty good, even on broken off bolts. But got that. I was under here. I was under here. I was looking at the belt, and it's cracked. I do have another belt, but we have to try to figure out how to get that off. Okay, yesterday I got the drive belt off and put the new one on, but all I did was there's four bolts holding the motor on. Go down here, get this one. There's one up in here, right there. You got one back here, one over there. But all you do is, it might be a little easier for someone to help you, but you just pick the motor up, listen to this for bolts up, get the motor up. You can pry this off to get away from these keepers right here. So once you get that pushed up and pried off, you can push up on the motor, get the new one on, and set it back down and get the bolts back in. It really ain't that hard once you figure out you can just lift up the motor, but yeah, that's how I got the belt on. Okay, so here I got the new clutch and I got a bolt for it. It says use a torque wrench and the impact guns, so make sure you listen to that. If you do this wrong, you can destroy it pretty easily, by what I'm reading, I guess. But we'll get this put up on. Whenever you install this, there's this keyway here, and there's a slot and a drive pulley on there. So just make sure those line up whenever you put them on. Don't hammer it on or anything, because you could really damage it. So another thing I wanted to mention, this is the old PTO clutch. Before you go put that one on, make sure you double check to see if they're like pretty close to the same. You don't want to do all that work and it be something different. Alright, so I got the PTO clutch in. Oh man. Got the PTO clutch in, got this torqued down, I think. I don't know, I can't really get the pulley to stop moving, but in my torque wrench, wherever it is, it won't work. So I got it torqued down pretty snug. 45 pounds ain't like a whole lot, but it should be in there pretty good. Other thing I'm worried about is that it's like barely hitting that, but I think we're gonna get a hammer and try to like beat it in. But yeah, put the wire up through here, and then I'll lower this down. I'll get the deck put on, put the belt back on, and hopefully she'll fire up. Hopefully the starter ain't actually bad. Okay, so I got everything hooked up, got the mower deck back on. That back on, put this in. Got the battery connected again, but turn the key. You hear like a clicking noise up here. I think it's probably the headlights turning on, but go start it, nothing happens. I did check this fuse right here, it was good. It was obviously, turn the key off real quick. Pull it out, you ain't got no lights up there, nothing happens. And then put it back in, turn the key, you got lights. Which also, that oil light is on, which I don't know why, but I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. But I did notice once you hold the key right there, it says 11.4 volts. So I'm thinking maybe it might be 2 dead, but that is a brand new battery, 226. But we'll try to jump and see what happens. Got jump box on there, battery, or the jump box is at one bar, but still nothing. Which I don't know if that's really doing anything. Let me do some research, see what's going on. It might be this thing. I'm wondering if it might not be this relay here from this being shredded up and whatnot. Here's the old wire. So yeah, obviously it's shredded up pretty good, but I'm gonna do some research on it, see what I can figure out. I did a whole bunch of testing. I jumped the battery, took a jumper wire from here to the starter, turned the key, nothing happened. Said it might be a bad ground, so I put a jumper wire from the ground to the motor block, nothing happened. Took a long screwdriver, and the starter solenoid right here, I jumped. Let's see if I can get a better view of it. Right there, both the 2 posts up in there. I took a screwdriver, connected both posts, it just sparked, nothing happened. So I think what it comes down to is a bad starter. But I know a guy that has one, he said he just gave it to me. So I'm gonna get that, throw it on, and then hopefully get it fired up. Got the recorder, but getting this starter off of here, hoping this is the problem. But got another one right here. I got it from a friend, so that was all free. But I took this one off, put that one on. I got the battery, see if it starts. Alright, so I was messing with it a little bit. It does have this like keeper thing. I'm not sure what it is, but I'm assuming it goes into this slot. But these wires are in the way, so it won't slide up in that slot. And the only way for me to do that is if I undo this plug, get those wires up out. If I turn it around, it gets caught like right up in here. So I'm gonna have to get the grinder, cut that off, and try to throw it back up on. But I'm gonna save that for another day because it's like 8:30 right now. And I'm gonna bug my neighbors. So I'll get this stuff turned back on and just come back at it another day. But this is weird because this one don't have one, so I don't know what it would affect. But I'm kind of concerned because this is different style than that is. So I guess we'll just try to throw it up on there and see what happens. So I got the grinder. I'm gonna try to cut that little notch off right here. Got it cut off, so now I'm gonna put this up in here and hopefully it will work. Okay, so the wire's on there for that, the starter. This is still on here, that's the PTO clutch, but got these on here. It spins. So now I'm gonna hook up the battery and then go get the key. Okay, moment of truth. Click. Nothing. So one test was to try and jump the battery from what ChatGPT was saying. But turn the key on at 13.8 volts and still nothing. Like, try to spin it. It spins freely. So I'll keep trying some more stuff. Okay, so I did some more looking around. And then this little guy right here, it's the starter solenoid switch. And if you can see there, you can't see it, but like, there's a big stud right here, and there's a big stud where that other big red wire is. And if you touch them together with like a metal rod of some sort, just make sure you're not touching the metal rod. But I use this, as you can see here. Turn the key on, the power and everything, and then shove it through in here. It cranks. So I'm just going to find another starter solenoid. So I got it off here. I had to take this bracket out, which is these two bolts. And these two bolts, you can pull it up out. There was no way I was getting this bolt back here because you had to like unscrew it from the bottom. But I got it out, took pictures. I'm gonna leave it like this until I get a new one so I can see how it goes back together. Okay, I got the old one off right there. Got the new one right here. Looks about the same. Always double check. Got it all up on there. New one's on. Ground wire's on. All boarded up. Gotta put the battery on. You got the battery hooked up. Your starter solenoid, your starter, PTO clutch. Ready one. And that's a good thing, I guess. Alright, so I did a test and I am not getting spark. I put the inline tester in. I'm not getting spark. So I took this off because of what I understand. These are like grounded to the bolts. So I just took this off, sanded this down a little bit, sanded the bottom, both sides, right here. And then I also sanded right here, the part that goes up against the magneto right here. And I did also sand that itself. I don't know if that's gonna help or if that was the right idea, but put their back on and see if that helped anything because they were pretty rusty. So yeah, give that a try and see what happens. Okay, so I got this back on and I like slid it the whole way back, which there's a big gap in between here and this, which it didn't do anything. And then I like moved this to be like right in front of it, like it is now, like that. And I like put it close up against it, but you don't want it tight, so it's not like smacking it every time it goes around. But I just put it close up against it, and it fired right up. So I don't know. I'm sure that sanding this down did help a little bit. A little of the rust that was on there, but I did have the tester on there in place of that. And tip, do not grab the inline tester while it's running because it will shock you, because I did get shocked. But yeah, I'm gonna try to fire her up, see what she does. Check out. Oh, there it is. She does run. Which I'm not sure why it's smoking right there, but I'm just gonna say it's probably from it sitting a while. There's probably a whole bunch of junk up in there burning off. But I guess we'll tidy everything up, clean it off. I need to get all this junk up out of there, right here. Get all that junk up out of there, and then. So I got the lumber over here. I got some purple powder right there. You can get it from the dollar store. It's like a degreaser, but spread it all up in there, on here, the wheels, up in there, like up under here. Get all that degreaser off, but I'm gonna spray it off and clean it up a little bit. Okay, I got the mower here. I did the oil change, put in a spark plug in it, oil filter, and then I cleaned it off one more time, just did a quick hose down. But took a couple pictures, as you just seen, and now I'm gonna list it up. Probably listed it high at 650 and let people talk me down. But yeah, I'll video it whenever I get to sell it.